back here at the mining cabinet. I'll have to edit all this together and see what happens. This is now Thursday evening. Last evening, I started making the video about my Ipollo V1 Minis that had quit mining Octaspace, and I thought it was from Tuesday night. I was going to do a video about power consumption and what change it would make to put them on energy mode instead of hash rate mode, and evidently this bug hit right in the middle of that, and I thought I had done something to them. So to paraphrase or summarize, yesterday I saw a video from Rapid Mining that said, hey, downgrade to an older version of firmware that fixes it. You'll be back on Octaspace. He's on Crazy Pool. I'm on Crazy Pool. And it works. And I've got 3 Ipollos just hashing away. We'll go over to Octaspace. There they are, just hashing away. If any of you are really sharp, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. How come you've got 2 lower hash rate and 1 higher hash rate? Good observation. I had 2, and had being the operative term, I had 2 V1 Mini Classic SE plus, I don't know. God, what are their names? But it's the Mini Classic SE plus the, I think, 280 mega hash version. And I had 2 of those and 1 Mini Classic, which is 130 mega hash. But, and if you're also very sharp, this was 113, 114, and 115. Now I have 113, 115, and 116. What gives? Well, I bought another just V1 Mini Classic last week because I saw one on eBay for what seemed to be a pretty decent price, since they seem to be going well north of $400 now, and I bought a new one, brand new from Belay Mining last year. I want to say for $199. It may have been $299, but I'm pretty sure it was $199 early this year. I think I was with the coupon code. I think it were $229. I got $30 off. But I mean, these suckers, the 130 mega hash ones are going for $350, $400, which seems kind of crazy today because they don't make very much per day. But I'm just stacking Octa. Pretty soon I'm probably going to roll off of it and roll onto something else, or go back to Ethereum Classic and ZIL. Hope maybe ZIL pumps one day, because I'm going to end up, if I keep mining Octa and ZIL and ETC and ZIL, I'm going to have a pretty decent bag. But anyway, back to this. So these have what was on the Ipollo website as the oldest version of firmware. And now I didn't downgrade to every single one of them, but I guess I didn't pay attention that far in the video because I was at work. I just downgraded like the next previous version, then the next previous version, then I think I did 3. Wasn't like, holy crap, I need to go all the way back to the oldest one I can get and see if that works, because none of the other ones would work. They would do the same thing. They would connect. You may see just a little bit of hash rate, and then it would just stop. And I didn't do this, but according to Rabbit, if you just left it on, it would just sit there until the ZIL mining round came up. It would mine the ZIL and it would go back to not doing anything. So I downloaded this version and it works. But on my other Mini Classic Plus, one of the newer versions, I was not paying attention. I had already downloaded it onto my PC, and I had both the, what I call it, the over-the-air version, which is the one you click on firmware update, do right here while you're connected and the miner's running, and I had the version that you put on an SD card and stick in the miner and turn it on, and it loads and does its thing. Unfortunately, I uploaded the one that's on a USB stick, which I'm not really sure why they're that different, or why the miner didn't say, hey, this is not what I need. And it doesn't do anything now. So I tried putting it on a flash disk and upgrading, but at the same time I also went in the house and did some other stuff for a while, so I may have let it run too long. So I am going to go get that miner and bring it in the house, put the flash card in it, and see if I can get it back online, because I should have 4 of these, 2 minis and 2 mini classics and 2 mini classic plus. I'm putting them all on energy mode, although it looked like one of them May not be on energy mode since it's hashing so much better than the other. Energy, energy, energy. It's like liberty, liberty, liberty. Nope, they're all in energy mode, but if we look at Crazy Pool, okay, now it's come down. Okay, so they're now both about 120 mega hash. They're supposed to get about 130. I think they do a little better than that on hash rate mode. Of course, my test is kind of invalid now because I got 3 different miners than I had the other night. The other night, with all 3 of the 2 Mini Classic Plus and the 1 Mini running in hash rate mode, it was drawing about 690 watts. So certainly this should be drawing less. Uh, Somebody go look and see, but I'm gonna leave on energy mode. I put my X4Q3UZ in energy mode, and it's actually hashing higher. I looked last night; it was hashing over 900, and right now it's hashing over 1,000. And now, even on the higher setting in the Jazz Miner, the 225 megahertz, sometimes it'll run over 900, sometimes it'll run over 9,000. But it just seems strange that I changed it, and every time I look at it, it's running well over 880, which is what it seems to typically run at. Is hover between like 870 and 920. But right now, it's been every time I look at it, it's hovering between 980 and 1020. Maybe I found the secret is turn it to 200, and it's actually not slower; it's faster. Um, but I'm going to go get the other or not the other Jasmine, the other Apollo, see if I can force load with the US with the flash disk, a firmware upgrade, get that back up and running, um, and see where that goes. So I will follow up on this in a minute. All right, I was able to flash the firmware onto the Ipollo V1 Mini, get it back up and going. So I should have taken a video because it was unresponsive at first. The 2 lights on the Ethernet port were just on, which none of them are ever like that. I tried putting the SD card in and turning it on. It would do nothing. Just those 2 lights would just stay lit up. They wouldn't blink. They wouldn't do anything. The status light and error light would never come on. Um, I tried holding in the reset button for 20 seconds. Nothing happened. I tried holding in the reset button while I powered it on from the off state. Nothing happened. And I finally said, what the hell? Let me power it on while I'm holding the Ethernet report button. And the Ethernet lights blinked a couple times. Then they turned off. And I said, well, that's interesting. And then the green status light came on. So I turned it back off and popped the SD card on in with this version 78.106 firmware. It ran the firmware update and it booted up, and this is not it. It was IP address 114. So it's up. Let's see if it's mining. It was up. All right, I'm back. So I disconnected the wrong cable and moved it, so all these should be back. And usually we'll see on these Apollos when they start back up, when they populate the serial number, or if you're on the running overview tab, when it populates the serial number and you get fan. So okay, I think we're good. We have serial number. I think this is the hashboard serial numbers. Um, Now it's etc hash. It takes it a few moments, probably about 4 or 5 minutes for this thing. I think they get up over 100 get works before they get accepted shares. So it's going to take a minute um, for these to reconnect. Yep. So we'll go in here and look at our mining configuration on energy. That's good. This one just started hashing. Ooh, I like when it goes straight up like that. Yeah, that's what she said. So 113, 114. I think we've already checked this one. 115. So we should start seeing these guys come back on in a minute. And we should have 113, 114, 115, and 116. They're mining on 2 miners. I'm sorry. They're mining on Crazy Pool, mining Octaspace and Zill. And along with the Octaspace, they're getting some pack protocol. seems to be kind of worthless, but who knows? Um, it comes along for the ride, so we'll let it ride. And yeah, so let us see the ZIL round. Yep. Yeah, it hasn't seen a ZIL round for 14 since it's been off so long. All right, I think everything's back up and running. I know that these also take a moment to. Oh, that's right. I didn't reboot these. I just said they just had disconnected from the internet a minute ago. This one I do want to reboot because I guess when it lost internet, it roll. Oh, I gotta look. Did they roll over to the backup pool? Yes. Um, I want to reboot these so they go back to the primary pool. So reboot. They want to back on their primary pool. Reboot. 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 Yeah, because it lost internet, so they roll over to the secondary pool when they lose internet. But I don't know why, if that's what it's doing when it rolls back to the primary pool, or when it rolls back on when the internet comes back on. Why doesn't it roll back to the primary pool? Um, a lot of people don't like these little gold miner or gold shell miners, these little box miners. I don't have any problem with them. I think we're online. Let's see. Unlock lock. Trying to figure out if I'm actually logged into it or not. Um, oh, that's weird about this. Oh, I know it's weird. That's not its IP address anymore. It is 10.0.0.100. That's what I was expecting. Get it out of Chinese into English. Let's unlock it. I wonder if I went back to default. The default password on a gold shell is 123456789. Okay, so it kept my password, which is not 123456789. I just updated the firmware. It was on 2.2.1. The latest is 2.2.5 on my LB box. Yep, so do hash rate mode. That's all we have on this. That's one reason I updated. I was hoping that I could get like an energy mode on this thing, but I don't think it draws more than 160 watts. One thing I did is I'm tired of having to go back into every one of these all the time and type in a static IP address. So I'm going into my router setting DHCP reservations per the MAC address. So I use Advanced IP Scanner. I find it. Well, like this Synelec, that is my Ice River KS0. There's the MAC address. I go in and copy the MAC address, and I go into my router configuration and set up a reserved IP address for that MAC address. So no matter what happens when it gets turned on, firmware update, BIOS reset, whatever, it comes back to the IP address that I'm expecting. So you guys didn't, we're not doing that. We're doing this one. So let's see if it comes up. It is coming up. Okay, so it seems to be done with whatever's going on with it. We're going to change it to energy mode, and we are going to save and apply. Before I plugged in the gold shell, I looked at this. It was drawing like 236 watts, so I don't believe they were all mining. So I got to get them up and mining and see what all four are drawing. But so far, it's encouraging the energy savings I'm getting on the energy mode. So anyway, I will post back anything else changes. But yes, if you are having problems with an Ipollo ETC miner and you were mining Octaspace and Tuesday night it just suddenly quit and you cannot figure out why, you have to downgrade, at least on these V1 minis, to the oldest firmware, the 78.106. none of the newer ones that I tried would work. And I will post a link to the Ipollo support site in case you don't know where that is, where you can go and download this firmware. Now, if you have a newer X1, the GPU looking thing, the last I saw, I didn't watch all of Rabbit's video, but I believe he said that he didn't find a firmware for that would work. It may be too new. So you may have to be putting those onto something else, get them off to Octaspace. The problem just seems to involve Octaspace at a certain block height. I don't know what the block height was when it happened, but hopefully Apollo will address it and come out with some new firmware soon, and we can get back to newer firmware. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all of my subscribers. And again, if you're new here and you've watched this far, you're going to be let in on a little bit of information I've said in a couple other videos. I plan on at 100 subscribers. Currently, I'm at 48, but at 100, I plan on giving away a box miner, and at 500, a box miner, and at 1,000 subscribers, another box miner. So right now, since I got this Gold Shell LB box, I have 4. I don't know which ones I'll give away. Maybe it'll be dealer's choice. The first winner picks, second winner picks what's left, and the third winner picks out of the scraps. But I have a CK box, a SC box, a KD box, and now an LB box. So